now it's time to talk about our 5 takeaways. That's right, everybody. Let's get into it. And we are going to talk about our 5 movie monsters we love. And let's get started because I'm excited. I'm going to go down the line. Again, when I just started, kick us off at number 5, if that works for you guys. My number 5 for this is the Graboids from Tremors. I love Tremors and I love the Graboids, and I think in the truest form, I love it. That's why I love number 4 as well. But that is my number 5. What's your number 5, Paul?
So I know it's kind of hard to quite. Anyway, mine was The Thing. I went with The Thing as number 5. Okay. I know it changes form, but
I love that you have to like reevaluate in the middle of saying it. Like it's a perfectly like if you had come out and been like, oh, Pippi Longstocking, it would have been like, all right, you're done. Like, I don't know enough about movies, kid. Get out of here. But that's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. Define movie monsters. If they're monsters in movies, if they could be human, they could be monsters, but they have to be monsters. They have to classify as, scary
monstrosities.
Monstrosities. Yeah, perfect. Maybe been already been made. Laugh out loud. Oh yeah, you should check out the Phantom of the Opera. All right, what's your number 5, Trevor?
Oh, well, I didn't put them in order, but I'll go with the one that is part of my childhood, and I know yours, and that's Godzilla.
Very nice, very nice.
He is the king of the monsters for very good reasons. And, he is culturally relevant enough that, probably 7 out of 10 people, if they're asked monster, they're going to think of Godzilla, especially since the monster verse, as Wirt just talked about, it hasn't been in the media for a while.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love that. All right, my number 4 for the list today is going to be the doppelgangers from Us.
Ooh,
they freaked me the hell out, man. Like, granted, I know there are other humans, stuff like that, but it's like they know what you're thinking. And it's like it was just pretty intense, and I really did enjoy that element, and the fact that they look like you, and the psychological effects of like, what if he has to kill like the one that looks like his daughter, in the movie, or like she died, like. How do you do that? It's crazy. So like it adds like a really great layer to it of the monster. All right, what's your number 4, Paul?
My number 4 is also another creature, if you will, that takes different forms, and I want It Follows. But it counts.
It's a movie monsters, not ghosts.
It's a monster. It's a monster.
It's ghosts.
It's a monster.
The ghost that looks different every time it walks.
Yeah, it's terrifying. People are scary as shit.
Like it's like you're pitching in the All-Star game and you're just waiting to get there tonight because you got all these curveballs. Can't wait to see what 3 through 1 is. But I decided on the Angel from the Angels and the Outfit.
It's gonna be the Invisible Man. It's gonna all be invisible thing.
Oh my god! All right, what's your number 4? No, not number 4. You're number 4, right? Yes. What's your number 4, sir? You threw me off with your curveball.
So my number 4 is kind of a movie monster, but I picked it more in the fact that it has, become to have such meaning of both an oracle, a monster, but also something really cuddly, and that's Mothman. And I think we're going to see Mothman in film a lot more in the near future.
E2 Stottlemyre, E2.
What are you mad about?
It's a fine all out.
Great choice, Trevor.
No, it's a good choice.
Thank you.
You chose a Richard Gere movie. We appreciate it. Whatever. But you didn't pick the
gerbils. But oh, did we just make a gerbil joke at the same time?
Just made an actual joke at the same time.
That's synchronicity, babe.
I love it. The synergy is strong in this.
Like right. his rectum right now. So I'm sorry.
Oh god.
We shouldn't talk about those things. So.
I saw those South Park episode. Number 3 on my list for movie monsters is actually the Xenomorph.
Ooh.
It's just an amazing design. Still in that original movie. Like I love them in all of them, but like because the Xenomorph never really had a bad design, except for maybe Prometheus. But I'm not really counting. But that first one was just French kiss, chef's kiss, whatever the fuck it's called. French kiss. I'll make out my tongue. I'll make out my hand later.
And it's all H.R. Geiger. If they had not happened to run across his work, we would not have Xenomorphs in any way as we know it.
I love it. So what's your number 3, Paul?
It's going to be the aliens from A Quiet Place.
Ooh.
Okay, so at least that's over.
That's a good one. That's terrifying, man. I pop too much. I make too much noise.
Listen,
I would die so quick.
Dan says Blob, Xenomorph, Predator, Gremlins, Deadites in that order. PTK says Xenomorph for the win. My friend has a dog that looks like a Xenomorph. He salivates just like it. Stay away from that dog.
Might have
Saliva.
rabies.
No, just be a crazy. It might actually just be a Xenomorph. You don't want to hear it. All right, what's your number 3, Trevor?
Ooh, my number 3 would be zombies. And I pick a generalization like that because we just talked about the Universal monsters. And at the time period of the Universal monsters, there weren't many films made about zombies. And what were made by usually Val Lewton and Jacques Tourneur were B-list movies. This is a monster that in itself just represents everything that is the proletariat of the monsterverse. So you can, especially if you look at Romero, but if you also look at Fulci and his later zombie work, you can do anything allegorical with a zombie.
Okay.
So that's why I have to pick them. And I think they are the monster for our time, where the other ones were for another.
Well, I got to challenge you. Which zombie? There's different kinds. Which one do you choosing? You have to have a favorite in this one.
I would have to go with the zombies from Land of the Dead.
Interesting. Kind of coming back with a little more
Okay.
reasoning. I dig it. All right.
I think that's the Romero film that rings truest to 2024.
Very sweet. I love that. All right. Here we go. It probably took place in 2024. I have to go back and watch. Number 2 on my list is The Gill Man.
Ooh.
We just talked about him. We just talked about why. I love the suit. I love the movie. Everything about I wish there was more depth to the character in movie lore. I would love to see something done well, but there have been the ones that do exist are gems, and I love that character. So that's why Gilman is number 2 in my heart. But you, Paul, what's your number 2?
Curveball. No, mine is Pennywise.
Ooh, nice.
I'll take it.
Tim Curry one?
I know you'll take it.
Oh.
Yes. And if I had to deal with zombies, the ones that freak me out are the ones from 28 Days Later. I'd be so
The Rage.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have the cardio for that shit. They just run nonstop. I'd be done. I'd just stop. I'd stop smoking cigarette until I could fucking just sorry.
That guy when he jumps out in the second one and he gets out of the house and they're all chasing him to the boat.
Shit. Oh shit. Yeah.
I would have just been dead. I wouldn't even jumped down off of the roof. I wouldn't have made it out of the window.
I think you would have. Adrenaline, the will to be alive, I think, would surprise you.
There's no flight in my fight or flight anymore.
Straight.
I will create the distraction for you. So that's sort of my level right now. But Trevor, what is your number 2?
Okay, so my number 2 did appear in a movie, but I didn't like the movie. And my number 2 is Slender Man. And why I say Slender Man, not because I'm a huge Angus Scrimm Phantasm fan, which there's a connection there, but I picked it because we're talking about a movie that kind of uses this concept. And Slender Man is the first of what is called a creepypasta. And right now, creepypastas are taking the place of Universal monsters, but also the concept of Slender Man and lore and analog horror is so now. And it is, I think that is a monster that is very significant because without Slender Man, and of course the case connected to Slender Man, Siren Head might not exist. So
I like it. I like that choice. Not predominantly known for movies either, but I dig that a lot.
I think they will.
Oh yeah. Once the stink of the movie goes off, and in fact, like even the Crooked Man is starting to come back a little bit after they used him in Conjuring the complete wrong way. He's going to be in the Hellboy movie. Like I think that's what it's going to take. It's going to take these.
Wait, did you say another Hellboy movie?
Yeah, there's another Hellboy movie coming out, and he's fighting the Crooked Man. It'll be interesting. It's a low budget. I think it's more low budget.
I'm sorry I asked.
I don't even think they're trying to build a franchise off this one. I think they just made a Hellboy movie, and it looks good. It looks interesting, so I'm excited.
But it needs sharks.
Fair. Good evening. What's up, Joe? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining us. Go check out the Indie Escape Network. Appreciate them for joining in, hanging out tonight. If I could include video games, Pyramid Head instead of Blob. You cannot, because we'll do that as another list someday. And then you can hold it for there. But our number one, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and there is 16 reasons, 16 reasons documented on the Scene Snobs channel as to why this is my number one movie monster of all time. And you can go check it out. Trevor was there. Sturdy joined us for all 16, watching 40 films. Everybody can argue that it's only 39, but it is 40 films because there's 1977, Luigi Cozzi, Italian version, and I'm counting it because I had to go back and watch it 3 times because it made me sick. But
oh, love for Luigi. He's going to cry. Nobody gives him any love.
His colorization of the film was horrible. And his cut would make me sick. But there are 40 films and a lot more if you count TV. But yes, it's Godzilla, 100%. Go check out our full retrospective of all 40 films and TV shows and everything else. So I'm not going to say much on it, but I love that beautiful big green, son of a gun. I love him. He's my favorite. So how about you, Paul? What's your number one?
I went with the killer from In a Violent Nature.
Ooh, I need to see that.
It was really fucking good.
Awesome.
So good. What's wrong?
Boring.
It was not boring. It was so good.
I haven't even written a review because I've fallen asleep like twice trying to write it. Just
really?
Like, I can hear crickets. Oh,
Yeah.
There's that weird bird that whistles in the long run while he's walking and walking and walk.
Yeah. You ever walked in a forest? Same shit.
He was going to Mordor. That's what was happening. He was just killing his way to Mordor.
I don't want to do it.
Enough.
Rip someone's head through their own ass, bro.
A marketable talent.
It's a marketable talent for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah. There's a niche for that.
You get fired every week. You gotta stop throwing them curveballs at me left and right.
Coming to a red room near you.
I love it. So Trevor, who's your number one?
So I they're in movies. I have to say Humans, especially if you look at horror and its progression over the past 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
You start seeing more and more concept of dystopia, apocalypse, climate change, Godzilla. When it comes down to Dr. Frankenstein, it's all about humans. Humans are the most of the monsters. I know it's generalized, but I had to do it.
It's hard to argue because even on Supernatural, a show where week to week they fought supernatural monsters, they always said that humans were the things that scared them the most. Because it's true. It's,
oh yeah.
You can expect the killer to be a killer, but you can't expect the human to be human all the time.
Humane.
Yeah. So the humans from It Follows don't count, though. Huh.
They're not human. Those aren't human.
Humans.
More the
Do you think that's
kind.
a human chasing after them?
They think it's a human.
That's their representation of an STD. That's AIDS. Is following them. Is basically what they're saying. That's that's so sorry. Your STD humans don't count. Your STD ghost.
They're
humans.
people too.
No, I mean it counts. It's your list. Your STD ghost humans though, are the worst. But anyway, we're gonna start reviewing. That's right. We're gonna review Long Legs and Fly Me to the Moon.